All right, guys, today we're checking out the Segway MAX G3. Okay, so recently we reviewed the Segway Cyber. If you haven't checked that out, it's on the channel. We have 2 videos up. And so this is the MAX G3. This is an electric scooter, something that they debuted at CES this year. And it seems to be one of their best sellers. So we wanted to take a look and try it out. So just on first glance, based on what I see on the box, this definitely has a lot of smart tech, very similar to the Cyber. And with a top speed of 28 miles per hour, it's probably not the most powerful scooter that they have, but that just makes it more appealing for a broader audience. Anyway, before we walk through all the features, let's do an unboxing. As you guys know, we reviewed the Segway Cyber, which is just a really interesting vehicle. And at CES 2025, they've also introduced a couple of scooters as well. So I think the MAX G3 is one of their flagship products. Similar to the Cyber, I think the design is really high-tech, very futuristic. You got some black with red accents and a little bit of gray or space gray. I think compared to other electric scooters in this class, the Segway MAX G3 just looks a little bit more refined. So let's just walk through all the features. Now, in terms of assembly, everything was pretty easy to put together. You just have to put these bolts over here for the stem, and then some bolts over here for the rear fender. So the first thing you'll notice is the rear taillight. It's very bright, and it also has brake functionality. It gets brighter as you squeeze the brakes. Now, in terms of comfort, we have dual hydraulic rear shocks. You also have adjustments over here to manage the preload. We also have self-healing tubeless tires, which are about 11 inches. In terms of power, we have an 800 watt rated, 2000 watt peak hub motor. We have a decent sized foot deck over here with a rubberized platform, and the back slopes up so you can plant your rear foot. Here is the primary charge port. So this has a built-in fast charger, which can charge the scooter in 3.5 hours. Basically, you just have to plug in the cord. There's no additional power block, which is very handy. And as you're charging, you can monitor the real-time estimates on the display. If you want to increase the charging time, there's a secondary charging port for faster charging. It doesn't come with the secondary charger, so that's probably something that you have to buy on the website. Now, it might be hard to see, but you also have a front hydraulic suspension fork. It's very small with some guards. Here's the latch to fold the stem. I'll show you guys in a second what this looks like folded up. Got a front reflector. Here's a look at the mechanical disc brake for the front. This is the latch that you attach to the platform when folded. You got the ergonomic rubber grips. You also have integrated bar signal lights. So if you push this button, this is the hazard button. You could customize this in the app. I'll show you guys in a second what that looks like. And they also emit a sound so people can hear when you're turning. Here's what the left looks like, and then the right. So a very cool feature, especially when riding at night. You have your display controls over here, so you could change the different modes. This is walk, eco, drive mode, sport mode. You also have the headlight switch over here. Integrated bell, and a right-hand thumb throttle. Here's a look at the mechanical disc brakes on the rear. And then for power, you have a 46.8 volt, 12.7 amp hour battery. So this allows the MAX G3 to reach a top speed of about 28 miles per hour. Now I'll show you guys how this thing folds up. So we'll turn the scooter off, pull the latch down, pop this latch down, fold the stem, hook it onto the platform, and we are good to go. And the total weight of the scooter is about 54.2 pounds. It's not super lightweight, but it's not too heavy that you can't carry it up a flight of stairs. Now that we've looked at all the features for the Segway MAX G3, let's take a look at the app.
The MAX G3 has a polished Segway finish and weighs in at just over 54 pounds. It's not ultra light, but for the amount of hardware packed into it, the G3 still feels relatively nimble to move around. There's a bright 6-watt headlight up front, LED tail lights, handlebar signal lights, and subtle underlighting that helps with visibility when riding at night. The G3 also features an 850-watt rated, 2000-watt peak motor and can hit a top speed of up to 28 miles per hour. That's plenty for navigating city streets. But if you're coming from high-powered scooters, it might feel a bit tame. Where it shines, though, is in how it delivers that speed. The throttle is smooth and intuitive with 3 main riding modes: Eco, Drive, and Sport. Sport is the mode we felt most comfortable using. Segway claims the UL-certified 46.8-volt, 12.75 amp-hour battery can provide up to 45 miles of range, but that's probably on Eco mode and with no inclines. The G3 also features a built-in fast charger with a clever second port for even quicker top-offs. Charge times were consistent, and I liked being able to see real-time estimates on the TFT display. No guesswork and no anxiety handy when you're in a rush. The front and rear hydraulic suspension setup might be the best part of this scooter. It takes on cracks, bumps, and uneven bike paths with ease, making it one of the more comfortable commuter scooters we've ridden. It also features traction control, 11-inch self-sealing tubeless tires, and mechanical disc brakes. While the mechanical brakes are fine, hydraulic brakes would have been even better.
All right guys, so we're just gonna walk through the Segway app. So this is the same app that we use for the Segway Cyber. Very convenient, so you can add all your vehicles on the same app. So we'll slide to power on. Now the electric scooter is powered on. We have some stats over here, 100% battery. You also have the estimated range. We'll click into the dashboard. The dashboard, you have your speedometer in the center. You have your remaining mileage, ride duration, temperature, and voltage. And then we could go into the settings and we'll just take a look here. So there is a locking function. Okay, we'll set digital code lock, set unlocking password. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. All right. Locking function is on. Airlock is enabled. After enabling airlock, you could power on the vehicle directly by pressing the power button when you get close. Abnormality alert. If we turn this on, the alarm should sound if the scooter gets touched. Now we will try to steal the scooter. And you get an audible alert. Abnormal movement detected. And the motor is locked up, so I can't actually push it forward. So yeah, pretty cool security feature. All right, so we have the Apple Find My feature, auto power off, 5 minutes. You could change that up to 30 minutes or 1 minute. Traction control. So I'm not exactly sure how this works. I got to look it up, but I guess depending on your terrain, the motor adjusts itself. Here's a feature called Park on Slope. So if you press and hold the brake lever, you can lock the motor to prevent the vehicle from slipping on a slope. You could choose the speed modes. So you can disable certain modes, which is pretty cool. Customize mode speed. So Eco we have set to 10 miles per hour, Drive 16 miles per hour, Sport max speed is 28 miles per hour. So boost can be activated by squeezing and holding the brake lever and pressing the throttle at the same time. Energy recovery, I'm assuming is the regen. Button settings, so this is pretty cool. You could make this button over here into a different function. Park mode, hill hold, walk mode, emergency flashers, boost function, which I think would actually be more appropriate. So we have it on emergency flashers. So if you press the button, you get the flashing and the audible signals. So that's pretty cool. Light effect, you could do the auto headlight, you could do a breathing taillight, front position lamp, and the safety underglow lights. Charging limit 100%. So if you lower the charging limit, that means that you can conserve the battery life, which is a really cool option. Power off after folding to prevent like accidentally hitting the throttle and potentially injuring yourself. So that's a cool option. Very similar to the Segway Cyber, the smart tech features is where these vehicles shine. So now that we've gone over all the features of the Segway MAX G3, let's take it out for its first ride. Okay, first ride with the Segway MAX G3. I am on eco mode and I'm going about 10 miles per hour right now. So very slow, very casual ride. This is a little too slow for me, to be honest. But this is eco mode right here. Yeah, I feel like this is too slow to ride practically, just because I feel like you just need a little bit more response when riding a scooter like this. So we'll bump it up to drive mode now. And we are maxing out at about 15 miles per hour, which feels pretty good. This feels like a good speed. Okay. I think drive mode is probably the mode that most people will be comfortable with. And I do like the throttle ramp. It's not too strong. It's not too powerful when you pin down the throttle. It's a very smooth throttle ramp, which is really good for stand-up scooters. Something with too much torque, if you're not used to it, it could definitely throw you off. So yeah, I like this. This feels good. Let's bump it up to sport mode now. And this is the mode that I would probably keep it in the most. Maxing out right now in this small parking lot, about 25 miles per hour. I'll now run over there. And yeah, very easy to maneuver. Very easy to lean into turns. And the suspension is really doing its thing. There's some cracks on the ground over here, but it's handling it pretty well. You could try to take it on some grass to see how that feels. Just remember, on its highest mode, you're gonna deplete the battery a little bit faster. But I just think in terms of just overall top speed and response from the throttle, I think this is definitely the mode I would want to use it on. All right, now we could try it on a little bit of grass here, see how that looks. And on the grass, it's actually not too bad. Definitely not meant for the off-road, but it can handle it, kind of. But I gotta say, that rear suspension, that front suspension, it's definitely absorbing a lot of this shock. Although I don't recommend riding on grass, obviously. Let's go back on the pavement here, transition off the curb, back into the parking lot. Maybe we'll ride over this walkway over here. And yeah, very smooth. So far, no complaints. I really like the controller tune. I like the suspension. And then obviously all the tech features are a bonus as well. But yeah, this is just a good leisurely scooter. So off the line, I think the tune feels really, really good. The calibration with the throttle ramp is nice and smooth. It doesn't feel like too strong, which can be an issue for certain scooters where you just feel like it's too jerky, right? And you kind of lose balance. Just on first impressions alone, this feels very well balanced. So here we go. All right, interesting. So it looks like when I hit the brake, I think it might go into like park mode if I'm not moving, like by itself. And averaging about 20 miles per hour on the display. Nice and easy. Yeah, I mean, I love how this thing feels. And the suspension is really, really good. Not that I'm going over anything that feels particularly bumpy, but I think if you're just going over like some pavement or uneven terrain, this is the perfect setup for that. Let's keep going here. I don't know what that beeping is. It's like, it almost feels like it's locking up, but then it unlocks if I hit the brake or hit the throttle, so I'm not sure which one is which. I gotta figure that out at some point. All right, going over these train tracks, no issues. So we'll see how this does. It's a pretty steep grade and not a problem. And then we can kind of like stop on a dime. I feel like it has just enough power to make it suitable for this kind of environment where you have a few protected bike lanes, you have a lot of traffic, parking lots and things like that, pedestrians. If you live in a city similar to this, if you live in a downtown, right now I think this is actually a really decent commuter. It's okay, I think I got the hang of this thing. So when I press the brake, it kind of gets out of that weird parking mode so that I can hit the throttle. I don't necessarily need that. I don't know why it's there, but maybe there's a way to disable it. Who knows? I'm really just averaging, 15, 20 miles per hour. So it's like, it's not too fast, not too slow, just right, just like right in the middle. I think I could probably calibrate the brakes a little bit more. They just feel like a little too soft. So those could be a little bit better. I don't know exactly how the traction control works, but it definitely makes me feel like I'm planted. I can kind of lean into these turns and I don't feel like I'm losing too much balance here. Yeah, I think if it sits idle too much, it'll just put me in park mode. And then I think I have to hit the brake first and then throttle. If I hit the throttle before the brake, there's a bit of a delay. And I'm also trying to kickstart as well. So I don't know exactly how that works. I wish I could disable that. Yeah, see, like it just it just locked me as I tried to kickstart. Right now it's just kind of like annoying to have to either hit the brakes before I throttle or kickstart before I have to throttle. Here we go, 28 miles per hour on the display, and it is maxed out. So I think that might have been our top speed run right there. The slope on this hill is about, I think it goes from like 3% to 12%. So we'll see how it handles the grade here. 26 miles per hour. Easily, 24. And have to hit the brake, but about 24 miles per hour up that 12% grade. That is very impressive. Very impressive. The handling, okay, now that I'm on the street here, yeah, the handling, oh, so smooth. So smooth. All right, guys, so we are going to test out the boost function. In the app, I enabled the custom button over here to be boost. So I've never tried that before, so we're going to hold it down, boost preparing, and it says it's ready. So let's just get right into it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Boost is on. So yeah, just way faster off the line in boost mode. Right now it says it's boosting 26, 27. So I'm hitting the same top speed that I was in sport mode. Now I'm hitting 28, going up an incline. So that's not bad. Oh God. Okay, so I did figure out why it puts me in park. I'll talk about it in a second. So am I still in boost? I don't think so. I think I'm just in sport mode now. Looks like I have to be at a complete stop in order to do it. All right, so we're stopped. Holding down boost again. And ready. And boost. Okay, boosting. Okay, yeah, so it's a feature, I guess, to give you a boost right off the line if you're going up an incline. So I guess that's pretty helpful. Now I'm in sport. So I think after I let off the throttle while boosting, it brings me back down to sport mode. Okay guys, so I figured out why the Segway MAX G3 goes into park mode each time I'm at a stoplight or a stop sign or an intersection. So when we go into settings, if we go to start speed, basically it says here, when the start speed is set to less than 1.86 miles per hour, the scooter will automatically enter park mode if there's no action for 6 seconds. And then you have to hit the brake lever to exit park mode. So I put it on 0 miles per hour because I thought it disabled the kickstart option, which I don't like. I like to be able to hit the throttle even at 0 miles per hour. So yeah, so unfortunately, it kind of forces me to go into kickstart mode. I should have read it more carefully, but it was very confusing. So we'll put it on 1.8 miles per hour. So, yep, so I can't throttle because we are at 0 miles per hour. So if I kick into it, and now we're good to go. So I guess keeping it at 1.8 miles per hour at the start speed is probably more ideal than 0 miles per hour, which will automatically put this thing into park. We stop. Okay, like pretend we're at an intersection now. Count to 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't put me into park, so I don't have to hit the brakes, but I do have to kick, and off we go. All right, so yeah, kind of confusing, guys. That would have been good to know as I was doing the test ride through the city. But yeah, unfortunately, you have to do the kickstart. Otherwise, you'll have to hit the brake lever to get out of park mode. So the lesser of two evils is a kickstart, I guess. Well, I'm actually on some slippery ground now. So I wonder if the traction control is actually working. I don't really notice a big difference, but supposedly it helps you in slippery conditions. Let's go into boost mode here. So if I stop, right, hold down my custom button, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm in boost mode, and here we go. boosting. So yeah, way more power off the line in boost mode. But it does turn off. It does like kind of turn itself off. I'm not quite sure what causes it to turn off. We could try to go up this hill. I don't know. Feels kind of ambitious, but we could try. Let's see. Maybe let's go this way. Try to go up this grassy hill. I don't think it's gonna make it, but we could try it. Here we go. On the grass, yeah. And it is trying, and it is stopping me. Yeah, the motor is just like kind of cutting off on me, so that's not gonna work. Let's get off the grass. Ooh. Maybe this is the traction control. It's kind of like going on and off for some reason. All right. Anyway, here we go. Back on the pavement. There we go. Much better. Okay, now that I got the hang of it, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. I feel like I didn't really investigate all the features, so now I understand what's happening. Okay. I think Segway just has a really nice polish to it. It feels really refined. It feels, you know, like a very high quality scooter. So you get what you pay for. But if you want a scooter that just has like physical buttons, really basic, this might be a little too much like smart tech for you. I think Segway put a lot of thought into this scooter as something that would be just a good all-around product for most people. Anyway, in my opinion, after riding this for a few weeks, and also really diving into some of the features here, yeah, this is a pretty solid recommend.
The G3 also has a tightly integrated system of features with smart app control. Things like Apple Find My support, AirLock, and more can be accessed within a deep set of menus and sub-menus on the app. If you're into smart tech, you may love this aspect, but for people who just want to hop on and go, just know there's a slight learning curve to get the Max G3 to behave how you want it to. But here's some things to consider. At 28 miles per hour, the G3 is fast enough for most commutes, but probably won't impress experienced riders looking for high-speed thrills. Also, all the integrated tech, while impressive, might feel excessive if you're more into basic functions that can be accessed with physical buttons. Personally, we like all the smart features, just understand that it's a scooter that expects you to use the tech and not ignore it. So is the Segway MAX G3 worth it? If you're looking for a daily commuter with a sleek design and has a ton of integrated smart features, the answer is yes. It's not trying to be the fastest or most powerful scooter on the market. Instead, it leans into refinement, comfort, and tech. It's for riders who want to cruise, not race. And if that sounds like your lane, the MAX G3 might be the best all-around scooter in Segway's lineup right now. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.